Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. We are at SolAlt number 11. And this one is both a controversial one and an interesting one. I want to thank the mods in the chat here and everybody else. I went on this path because I felt Solana would change everything in crypto. And I spent a long time looking for up-and-comers that had not yet exploded upwards in value. They're kind of literally hidden gems. I hate that term, but that's what they are. But this one is called SCS, and it's poised to perhaps redefine the online casino landscape. I'm going to go big into analyzing the online world that it is and how Web3 crypto can actually revolutionize that as well as a lot of TAM market sizing stuff and all the benefits that come with building something on Solana as well. So these opportunities, again, I try weed out winners with very good product market fit, very good teams, very good technology with modest market caps. And remember as well, these things have tiny market caps, tiny volumes, so they can move pretty fast. So don't chase, wait, replace, see what happens. And this is definitely not financial advice. And shout out to everybody on Patreon too. This is from APZ, loving Patreon. Thank you for being there. People like their shout outs. And remember, this is my SolAlt playlist. I did a recap. I think it was the recap of how the first 10 have done so far. It's been pretty mind-blowing. And the strategy is working. It's working. Finding the winners from yester bull run and finding the new ones today. And remember, it's all based on my structured 10-point plan. If one token fails on one of those 10 points, it gets disqualified. And I've analyzed over 200. Silicon Valley Stoic, thank you for coming. And remember, these can all go to zero and may very well do so. So only allocate a very small amount of, for example, for me, I allocated only 5% of my Solana to these investments. And some of them have really blown up. And don't forget my methodology too before we jump into the meat. I go through everything from tokenomics to team to competition, you name it. You guys know the drill. But I do want to say a very quick warning too, because I'm well aware that gambling is against some people's religions. So if it is against your religion, it's time to step away from the video right now. But I also find it weird. Betting on things like sports, for me, is not different to betting on a crypto token or betting on a stock or options trading or anything like that. It's all a game, and that's why it's fun. And I actually do it for sport. I don't do it because I need to do it. I do it for sport and the joy of winning as well. Super Soul Man, thank you for coming, and Trask as well. Bugman. So let's jump in. This is a fascinating space. I like these undervalued tokens with massive total addressable markets, massive growth rates, and on the verge of disruption. That's kind of the plan. Let's look at some numbers for the US only. This is not, by the way, I'm not even talking about the size of the gambling that happens in premises. By the way, I'll talk about the difference in on-prem gambling versus online versus Web3. Fascinating to see as well. Stay tuned for that. But the US online gambling market today is $14 billion and is growing very fast. It'll be, I don't know, 50 billion, I think, by 2030. And the total, this is the total global gambling market, will be $440 billion by the year 2032. And we have kind of the degens are in places like Europe, Russia, China, etc., even Australia. But the other parts of the world, like North America, South America, Africa, they are fastest growing online gambling markets. And we know as well, everything is moving to crypto. You know, as Larry Fink says, the tokenization of everything's moving to Web3. It's real. I'll share you some data as well that proves that. So let's talk about this one first. First of all, I try pull analogs in the old world. So I'm going to look at two. I'm going to look at Rollbit, which is a crypto GameFi online play. And what's important is they have nearly $1/3 billion market cap, $340 million. They make very good revenue, very good profit, and that's actually weak right now. It was a lot higher. It was nearly $500 million at one stage. The question is, can this new one compete? In addition, when we look at the old world, like you look at a company like DraftKings, online gambling. $21.5 million. They have 4,500 employees and they lose $2 a share. Must be the only, sorry for laughing, must be the only casino in the world that actually loses money. But anyway, and remember as well, I have to stress this, go back to the warning here. Gambling is dangerous, okay? Only do it with pennies for fun. And you can make as much money or make as much fun on a penny as you can on $100. So just play for fun. And we'll get more into that as well in a minute. And one of my personal passions. So let's check the token itself. Rugcheck and Sentiment all seems okay. 96% positive community sentiment, 4% negative. We don't know why that 4% is negative. Maybe they lost. Let's look at some more stuff as well. I've been just in full disclosure too, I've been testing this platform since the beginning of the year. And I do it for a couple of different sports. If you know an old movie called El Ocho, Obscure Sports Daily, I like obscure sports, things like yacht racing, Formula One, UFC, MMA, that type of stuff. But it also does everything else, but I've tested it with these sports. In fact, the money I made from betting on MMA went into buying this token too. So let's look at where we are in terms of the top GameFi dApps. You can see this on Dapp Radar. A few weeks ago, this was ranked number 10th. Now it's the third most popular Web3, crypto, GambleFi, GameFi, gambling dApp platform, whatever you want to call it. It has so many different names, but basically GameFi is the name I like best as the broadest category, because you can also play games on this thing too. Also, what's very interesting as well is works cross-chain. Works with any wallet, Phantom, Solflare, Wallet Connect, Near Wallet. You can sign in with an email or Google account, MetaMask, Backpack, etc. That's pretty powerful. And this has been around for a long time. It's not a new token, but it's very widely used, but also unheard of, which is great. That's what we like to do, is like dig deep and find these little treasures. Thank you, Clint. Now, let's look at other things you can do on this platform. Like literally, it's a one-stop shop for all sorts of things. And some very bad. And I do not condone leverage trading, although sometimes I dabble in it myself. But you can leverage trade anything, including Bitcoin, Solana, whatever you want on the platform. And it is absolutely ridiculous. You can go up to 1,000x leverage. And with a volatile asset like that, you're looking just to hand away everything. But the point is, it's non-KYC. You can do it online. Just connect your wallet. Boom. By the way, if you are in certain parts of the world, you might need a VPN. That's not VPN advice, and there's no referral links here. So, yeah, just bear that in mind too. Let's look at the wildness of this platform. The stuff you can do. You could bet on any sport. I mean, football, NBA, NFL, as I mentioned, Formula One, UFC, badminton, cricket. What else? Boxing, ice hockey, like tennis. They have everything you could possibly imagine. And it's fun. Like if you're with your family at a weekend and there's like a final of Wimbledon on or something, it might be fun to play with this. Anyway, because people don't know about it yet, really. Now, let's talk about other stuff too. It also has my obscure sports. So, for example, you can bet if Carlos Sainz will finish on the podium at the Australian GP. We all know what happened there too. At least I don't yet, because no spoilers, please. I watch it whenever I get time, which is normally months later. Anywho, let's talk about the user interface. It's a very clean UI. Again, you can do everything from earning rewards to buying NFTs to playing games to poker. I mean, sports, racing. Literally, this thing does everything. I've never seen anything as extensive. And you go to DraftKings and you see their user interface, you know, multi-billion-dollar operation with 4,500 employees, and then you go to this thing, it'll melt your face. You'll never go back to the Web 2 world. Trust me, I've been in both places. And Tokenomics, real quick. You can see here, they did something very interesting lately as well. There was an initial max supply of 10 billion. Yes, that's a lot of tokens, but remember, it's trading about 2 cents. But 40% was held for NFT holders. So the people that hold the NFTs on SolCasino actually get rewards. 30% is for season 2 lockup. There's a liquidity supply. There's bonus rewards, 10%. The team only had 5%. and marketing was 5%. And what they did as well recently, they burned 3 billion. So they took the 10 billion down to just shy of 7 billion tokens. Again, it's a lot of tokens. But you take 7 billion, you multiply by 2 cents. That's a very small market cap. Okay, very small. Now, let's talk about the burn. The team as well. We had community members who actually have a very good insight. A lot of my learning, in full disclosure, was done kind of stealthily watching conversations on what people think of certain platforms. And this, apparently the team at SCS helped others identify where the burn was and who owns the wallets. So you got limited partners in there and Orca, LP, etc. It's nice to see the collaboration between different Solana tokens and this platform itself. Now, safety check, always check. Remember, there might be a lot of SolCasinos out there, but go to a thing called SolanaFM and search SolCasino and make sure it has a blue check mark, and then you copy the address right there. I put a big green arrow beside the blue check mark because anybody can spin up any token in 5 minutes. All right, so make sure you got the real one. You can always check as well by volume. Now let's look at depositor growth too from Dune. You can see here since November 2021, this thing has been around quite a long time. And I like that because you have what's called a Lindy effect. And the growth has been stable. Now, you will notice certain things at certain times of the year. There are spikes in activity. And I think it's maybe there's some more sports or sports events happening in March than other times. I don't honestly know, but that's typically what happens. It's seasonal. But what I do like to see is the growth of depositors is continual. Okay, as we go forward, which is good. Another piece of data is growth over the last year in volume and the number of transactions. It's extremely high and growing fast. Again, it's a very small cap, but has a lot of potential. All it needs is adoption, like anything else, Metcalfe's law. If it doesn't get adopted, it'll probably go to zero. If it does, and it already is, partly, it could do very well. And now, where to buy before I get into the conclusion. You can buy it on Jupiter or Orca or Radium. Notice Orca is an investor as well on the platform, which is good. There should be a link below of the actual valid address. I'm not saying buy it, but people always ask that question, so I don't want people to get the wrong thing. So let me summarize why I think this is different, as well as talk about some of the radical changes between the offline world, the on-prem world, the casino world that is Vegas and others, versus Web 2 versus Web 3. This is fascinating. But before we do that, the 10 reasons I like SCS. It is a seamless experience, growing ecosystem, handles all sports. I haven't, by the way, I don't do NFTs or the other game stuff, but I used to play poker in the 90s. I might try that one day if I ever have time, but I probably won't. But anyway, a strong community. They have improved their tokenomics by the 3 billion token burn. They have solid partnerships and collaborations. Very solid team that have built out a ton of stuff. Very innovative technology, as I mentioned. Go to DraftKings, then go here, and let me know what you think. It is night and day. In addition, they are also trying to be regulatory compliant, which is very interesting for such a small company. And I'm proud of them that they're going down this direction. It is also a global market opportunity, and the sentiment around the whole platform is positive. But there's more. So the unique value propositions. Multi-wallet capable, cross-chain capable, every game and sport under the sun. It does NFTs. It has a thing called Lootbox, which I haven't tried, but it's a way of getting added bonuses and, again, playing. You can do crypto trading and leverage trading online across multiple coins, including Bitcoin, etc. Doge, you name it, it's mad. It's very fast. It's very cheap. It's very reliable. And the spreads are very good if you like that type of thing as well, if you are a betting person. Now, I want to give you some perspective from somebody that knows this space very well. Okay? This is my reason it's part of the SolAlt portfolio. I did promise 12. We're at 11 so far. Who knows? We might even get to 13. But very good product market fit. Very fast growing market. It is winning in the GameFi charts. It's now number 3. It is a great user interface, good adoption, improving tokenomics, revenue model, and revenue sharing as well, and staking capable. These are all things I didn't touch on, but they are all there. Very strong disruption potential from Web 2 to Web 3. Very inexpensive valuation, which I like. And given traditional metrics and Web 2 and Web 3 analogs, it's interesting. By the way, I do have a price prediction too, if things get adopted. Now, first of all, this is from Blazo. Now, this is an individual that knows the gambling industry through DFS data analytics at the inception of DraftKings. And they praised the SCS gambling app for its exceptional UI and comprehensive features, including loot boxes. They also believe, not my words, but the smart contract gambling represents the future, offering a solution to manipulative practices seen in Web 2 gambling sites. I want to stress that Web 2 gambling sites are tweaked against you. Okay, so I I kind of suspected that, but was never actually aware of that too. And they had a ton of personal anecdotes regarding Web 2 sites altering odds post-victory and highlighting a shift towards crypto gaming to mitigate these third-party risks associated with betting and payouts. Also, we are on the verge of a huge migration from Web 2 casinos to blockchain-based platforms like SolCasino to avoid these unfair practices. Also, the sentiment, my sentiment always, the black hole sentiment, is the best, the most affordable, the fastest, the most comprehensive, the cheapest, etc. will prevail. And this SolCasino is a very strong contender in that realm. Okay, final piece, price prediction. What could this do? So what I also do is I look at the analog. I didn't take DraftKings because then the valuation get completely bonkers. But you can do that for yourselves in terms of where we are. So if we look at the crypto compendium here, you'll see Rollbit coin market cap as of the time of this video, $342 million. And you can see the market cap of SolCasino. And would you believe, yeah, there it is, $17 million, ranked number 2609, a very small market cap. But if, and again, it's a huge hypothetical here, if SolCasino was to hit the market cap of Rollbit, which is the top gambling platform in crypto, that could be, and by the way, Rollbit is still in a little bit of a bear market. It hasn't had the rebound to all-time highs like some of the other names out there. But if SolCasino does hit the same market cap of Rollbit, or even if Rollbit goes a lot higher, and SolCasino just hits that market cap today, that would be 20.12x. It would take the price from 1.68, 1.7, 2 cents, whatever, to about 33.8 cents. If it gets adopted, if it wins. And let's go back to emphasize who the competition are out there in terms of usage. From dApp Radar, you can check yourself. They're currently number 3. They were number 10 at the beginning of the year. So they're going up the charts pretty fast. And with some extra adoption, who knows? It could be big. I plan on holding this for a year. I have a very, very small position. It's not as large as I'd like, but hey, what are you going to do? And I'll shout out as well to Niels Bohr, 1922. Prediction is very difficult, especially if it's about the future. This could all go to zero. So allocate accordingly, but I do believe it could be a very interesting fast horse in our SolAlt portfolio. And thank you as well for coming. Hope you like the content. Hit the like and subscribe if you do. And if you want to see more, maybe we'll get to number 12. But they're getting harder and harder and harder to find. Trust me, we look every day. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to the mods in the chat. And let me see. Any good questions? Thank you, Kate. Thank you, T&D Tesla, for coming. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.